theories of trade union, and today we are going to discuss the fifth theory of trade union, that is Hoxie's theory of functional classification of unionism. Functional classification of unionism propounded by Robert F. Hoxie. The question is here, why trade unions were created? So the answer is, it was an outcome of group psychology. Why? He said group psychology. See, Hoxie was amongst the earliest who have argued that trade unions have evolved differently across socio-psychological factors, whereas all thinkers before the Hoxie, what was their views? So their views were that trade unions emerge just because of economic conditions. So he is saying here, unions form due to different reasons, not only by economic factors. So different reasons is here, socio-psychological factors. Not only by economic factors means economic factors are here, but socio-psychological factors are also here, right? So he proposed that workers with similar thinking and similar economic conditions tend to develop similar interpretations of problems, and their solutions is the outcome of group psychology. So what we are to remember here, that similar thinking plus similar economic conditions plus similar types of problem, whatever they are facing, it gives the way of similar interpretation, right? So people come together to form trade unions. So not only economic factors, but functional classification is also here, basically psychological factors of workers through which group psychology, or it can be said same thinking pattern, people come together and create unions. So that was the reason explained by Robert F. Hoxie, that unions are created or unions were created because of group psychology. So on the basis of functions, he classified unionism as business unionism, friendly or uplift unionism, revolutionary unionism, predatory unionism, and dependent unionism. So on the basis of function, first is business unionism. Let's see what kind of ideology they follow. They just want to improve their wages and good working condition. They don't want any political and social changes, right? They are not interested to change the system, like there should be equal participation of worker. No, they just think about their bread and butters. That is why the business unionism is also known as bread and butter unionism. And consciousness, business unionism is trade conscious. Means, why we are saying trade conscious? Because they are not against the capitalistic system. They just want the jobs with good wages and good working conditions. Whereas Marx talks about class consciousness. According to him, labor class is being exploited continuously by capitalists. So he wanted completely uproot the capitalistic system. He wanted to drink out the capitalist class. Stress on. So business unionism is stress on immediate goals. Immediate goals means they want good wages, good working conditions. They are not visionary kind of people. Because they are not visionary kind of people, so accept the capitalistic system means they have no issues with capitalists. They just want to improve their wages or their wage structure. That is why they are also conservative in nature. Conservative means people who don't want changes, or they are not radical people. So what means they adopt to seek their goals? Because they are not radicalistic people, so first they go with collective bargaining. If succeeds, then okay, otherwise they take next action, that is industrial action. So on the basis of functional classification, next unionism we have friendly or uplift. Let's see what kind of ideology they follow. The primary aim of unions following this principle is to contribute towards better life of workers by raising their morale, intellectual and social life. So how it can be done? By providing them good wages, holidays, hygienic working conditions, or unions can even help to upgrade the way of thinking, consciousness. They are also trade conscious like business unions. And what methods they advocate? So friendly or uplift unionisms advocate two methods. First, to make cooperative enterprise, and second is promote profit sharing concept. What is to make cooperative enterprise? That is contribution of all members to help each other. And second method is promoting profit sharing concept. What is it? It means sharing between employer and employees. Let's see what means they adopt to seek their goals. So similarly, business unionism, they also first go with collective bargaining. If succeeds, okay, otherwise they take the next step or next action, that is political action, right? So on the basis of functional classification, third type of unionism is revolutionary unionism. See, ideology. They follow Marxian ideology, means they reject private ownership. That is, no private ownership should be there. Everything should belong to state only. So ultimately they are talking about the communism. Let's see, consciousness. So they are class conscious. Their views. Capitalists always exploit the workers or working class, whereas working class help employer to run, but working class is not getting anything. All resources belong to all, but only capitalist section getting benefits. Stress on means they want quick reforms because their approach is radical and their ultimate aim is to replace the capitalistic system. Let's see what means they adopt to seek their goals. So they go with industrial actions, political actions and violent actions. So on the basis of functional classification, fourth type of unionism we have predatory unionism. Let's talk about their ideology. They do not follow any kind of ideology. They always talk about their wages, their works and consciousness. They are not particular in that they are neither trade conscious nor class conscious. And what means they adopt to seek their goals? That is also not fixed. Sometimes they go with revolutionary actions and sometimes they go with peaceful measures or peaceful reforms. Here we can conclude that they just want better wages and benefit to their members. So according to their situations, they take decisions or mold themselves. And there is one more thing that you should remember about predatory unionism, that is predatory unionism is a leader based unionism and all the members of this particular unionism depend on that particular leader only. So on the basis of functional classification, last we have dependent unionism. See, these unions dependent on the support of workers and other labor groups. As these unions are not getting benefits from other sources, so dependent unionism is a two types. First is company unions and second is labor unions. So what is company unions? Company unions means that depends entirely on employer, means employer giving money to these unions. Second type is label unions. So what is label unions? That depend upon the label imprinted on the products made by the union members, and such products find a ready market among unionists or union sympathizers. How can you understand this label unions? See, what these unions do, they paste their label on a particular product, okay, and supporter of this unionism will take that product. So whatever profit they earn, that will be shared with members. Because label of trade union played an important role in the sale of that particular product. So guys, this was all about Hoxie's functional classification theory. I hope it's clear to you. So be blessed and thanks for watching it.